Hi everybody, my name is Kerry Goulder from Kid Giddy, and I'm here today to show you how to make these cute little sandals for your 18-inch doll. You're going to need some quilter's cotton for the outer as well as some lining material. You'll need some batting, which will make it a little bit thicker. You don't want it too thick. Some turning tubes or tweezers, and you'll need some clipping shears and some pins. To get started, we're going to place our pieces of fabric onto the die in a specific way. We want to make sure that the stretch direction is correct, and for this one we need to make sure that our stretch direction is side to side. However, if you are using a fabric that has a specific direction such as this one, you can kind of break the rule. It's not really going to make that much of a difference. If you were stuffing these pieces, if it was a stuffed animal, that would definitely make a difference. So let's cut our pieces. We need the outsole piece or a foot base, and we also need the sandal strap upper. Whatever direction you cut out your upper, if it's a directional print, make sure you also cut the lining in the same direction. Place your cutting pad on top and on the bottom and put it through your machine. This die, being the 6-inch die that it is, fits on your Big Shot machines, your Big Shot Plus, as well as the Big Shot Pro. So if you have one of the smaller machines, this die will work for that. We're going to start by sewing the sandal upper strap. So you will have one piece down. This is technically the right side over here, and the batting piece, and then we're going to place this piece right side down on top of your lining piece. I prefer to sew it with the batting piece upright, and we're going to sew the inside curve as well as this outside curve. Back stitch at the beginning and the end because you will have to turn this right side out. Now when you get to the end, you need to have one end closed so that you can turn this right side out a little bit easier. Before we turn it right side out, we want to make sure that we clip and notch the seam edge. This is going to allow the fabric to sit flatter as well as reduce the bulk. If you want to use pinking shears, if you don't have clipping scissors like this, that's okay too. For the inside curve, we're just going to do simple little clips, just like this. They're just about 1/4 inch apart, and about 3 to 4 threads away from your seam allowance. And we are going to just clip off our little corners right there. We're going to take our turning tube and put it right in there and turn it right side out. There we go. Okay, and now what we need to do is take a little seam ripper and just clip those little seams right there. After you've finished taking that little seam out, flatten it out, and you can top stitch this if you'd like. You don't have to. Here's what it looks like with a top stitch in there. But if you want to leave it nice and fluffy, you can do that as well. We have our 3 outsole pieces as well as our strap. Place your upper fabric right on top of the batting piece, and now we're going to place our sandal strap along the 2 outer edges here. If you look, it will seem as if the bottom points are at about the halfway point for the sandal. Pin that in place. When we have the strap pinned in place, you're going to place your outer fabric right on top, and now you're going to pin that in place. As you're pinning, leave a small opening with your pins. Just place a mark in there. I like to do an outside edge or an inside edge because you can get a nice long straight edge there. And that's where you're going to turn the shoe right side out. So here I'm going to start stitching at about this point here where it starts to curve, and I'll go all the way up and around. Back stitch at the beginning and the end, and leave your needle down so that when you are turning, it won't lift up and shift your fabric. After you finish sewing around most of your sandal, leaving that small opening, notch around your sandal, which is just making little triangle shapes. You go in one direction and go back in the other direction. To turn your sandal right side out, you can use a turning tube, or you can use some little tweezers. If you want to just grab the sandal strap, you can gently pull it out. Once you have your sandal pulled out and right side out, you're going to fold under your little edges here, and we're going to pin that in place. And now we're going to top stitch our sandal around this edge because we want to make sure that we close this little opening. So we'll top stitch from right inside here all the way around, and then we'll start again by top stitching from here to here. Just move the strap out of the way as best you can and get as far up in there as possible. Once you've finished top stitching your sandal, you can now make the other side. You can have a lot of different options. Even though it's just a sandal, you can top stitch it, you can not top stitch it if you don't want to on the strap. You can add some cute little embellishments, little buttons maybe. You can also add a little loop in the back heel. If you want to make sure that the straps stay on the doll, you just add a little ribbon and wrap that ribbon right around her ankle. These little sandals are perfect for the summer, perfect for any time of year if you're going to be traveling, as well as for your 18-inch doll. I can't wait to see the sandals that you make for your doll.